Okay, well, it turns out I went to all the trouble of putting this listening party together, but now Facebook won't let me host online parties or any kind of like online live streaming unless this page has 100 followers, and it currently has 92. So let me just change the sound things here. Welcome to the listening party, even if you're seeing it like afterwards. I am glad to be here. As you can see, I even went to the trouble of like blowing up balloons and shit, because I thought, oh, it'd be great to have an online party. I'm just also keeping an eye on. Oh, there's Terry! Yay, Terry! Terry's come to the group party. Hi! How you doing? Oh, Terry's still connecting. Okay. So what the way this is going to work is this. I will put I don't know what's going on with this thing. There's a chat for those of you who are following live. There's a chat that's available here in the Zoom call. For those of you who are watching this afterwards, I'll put the links in a comment underneath the video because I'm going to upload the video to the Facebook page once this is all done. And basically, what it'll do is we have until 4:30 because I still have a free Zoom account. I didn't pay for one, and it will. I don't know. Wait, what's going on here? Terry, are you there? I don't know what's happening. Anyway, so what I'll do is we'll start because we don't have that much time. We'll start going through each of the four tracks individually. We're lucky that we have Terry here because Terry was a songwriting collaborator on this. And I will put the link to each of them individually in here. Copy link. We'll start off with Schrodinger's Girlfriend because that is the first song on the EP. And Girlfriend. Pop in the link there. So if you haven't heard it yet, it is live on all the different platforms, including SoundCloud. We'll be using the SoundCloud links for the broadcast today, simply because it doesn't need a lot of you don't have to sign in, you don't have to have paid membership or anything that's going. So first off, we're going to do Schrodinger's Girlfriend. I'll play the song, and then I'll explain the song a little bit in some detail afterwards, and then I will in the meantime, what we'll do is I'll ask everybody to click on the link for Schrodinger's Girlfriend. I will also play it from here. It may not end up sounding really good, but you've got the link for it if you want to, shut off my audio and then just listen to what you've got here on the SoundCloud.
He's trapped in a mental box. Someday she's a raging bitch, someday she's a fox. The girl trapped in that box goes from goddess to whore the minute she sets boundaries and doesn't want anything more. Mr. Schrodinger has expectations that fit him like a glove. Just because he's nice to her, she automatically owes him love. She never agreed to be his girl, and she hates to tell him so. Cause Schrodinger loses his goddamn mind every time she tells him no. In the dating machine, decides for them both that she's his queen. So what if her boundaries are insane? He's right to get angry when she gets mean. And every time his loves are bumped, her dignity's got to go. Now, how can a girl be so many things at the same moment in time? In Schrodinger's brain, it's all the same. Hypocrisy suits him fine. No, 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 Schrodinger. It's giving who the finger. No, 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 no.
And if anybody's counting, that's actually nine beats from the end of the previous. So it's actually like 2 bars and a beat extra. So the story about that one is, and I explained this a little bit in the introduction and like in the written introductions. I had 3 different points in my life where guys would be like, they'd be super friendly and they'd be super nice, and I think, oh, this is going to be like a really nice guy. And it wasn't like they turned into be nice guys. They were like nice guys, where you had all of a sudden it's like you find out, oh, they're being friendly because they think there's something in it for them. Like they think, oh, this, if I'm really nice to her, she'll be my girlfriend or something like that. And like literally have had 3 guys hang me up for like hours on end trying to sell themselves as boyfriends and try to say, oh no, but I'm going to be the best boyfriend, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. I'm just like, fuck off, pardon the language, but fuck off. It's like, you just don't do that to somebody, where it's like you think there's a quid pro quo with you being nice and them ending up like, it's thinking, oh well, I'm just gonna be like, it bothers the hell out of me, because to me it's so dishonest to have somebody like that who'll go in and be like, oh, but if I'm nice to her, maybe she'll be my girlfriend. It's like, no, it doesn't quite work that way, because you're like maybe 35 to 40% of the equation. um Anyway, every time I talk to somebody and I mention this song, every single woman, and not a few guys, have had that reaction where they've been like, "Oh, I know exactly what you're talking about. I know exactly what you mean." And that's kind of sad. So I was basically at the beginning of the pandemic, or maybe about a year in, I was goofing around on Twitter one day, and somebody brought up this idea of Schrodinger's girlfriend. Like, you never know whether you're a nice girl or you're a bitch, depending on whether you said no or if you haven't said no. And the instances with these 3 guys came roaring back, and I was like, ah. And that's why I ended up writing the song, because I related to that so immediately that it was just kind of like, holy shit, it. Anyway, and if you've had that happen, then you have my complete sympathy, because it's not fun. It's really embarrassing, and it must be embarrassing for the guys too, because they think that they're getting something out of it, but they're not getting something out of it, and it's like, I don't know, just one of those weird things. Anyway, so now let's move on to Planes, and I don't know if we can get Terry to jump in on this one. This is a fun song to talk about, because Planes was just this idea I had one time, because I used to be a really big fan. I still am, but I don't have Discovery Channel anymore. I loved the show Mayday, mostly because I kind of have a thing for things that go wrong, and people trying to like unspool everything and find out why things are going wrong. And what I loved about Mayday was the forensic thing of it, like trying to figure out what the hell was going on with this. So I was like, okay. And I actually just pitched it to Terry one time. Terry, I don't know if you remember this, but it was like, I just had this line like, planes don't just fall out of the sky, right? Which is the whole thing about Mayday. Planes don't just fall out of the sky. They're like usually, Malcolm Gladwell in the book Outliers says it's a succession of 7 to 8 different catastrophic events that on their own, the events would not cause the problems. But because you've got, these things that sort of like pile up, that's where the problems come. So this is Planes. Hang on, let me share this short link. And again, if you want to go back and listen to these later, we will have them. I will post the SoundCloud links in the comment section when I upload the video, and that's probably going to be later on tonight. So here we go. Here we go with Planes.
seduction. Like a plastic glass in economy class. Your plans are last minute and bipolar. I don't need another controller. You're a non-refundable fare, and I got nothing left to declare. No baggage left to claim. Just lots and lots of blame. 'Cause planes don't just fall out of the sky. Engineering, domineering, the reasons why. Things always fail with no instruction to create that level of destruction. The opposite of seduction. Not enjoying our discourse. Feel like I'm trapped in a concourse. I've had enough of red eyes. Time to fly me some friendly skies. You'll never learn not to crash and burn. But there is no final way when you run out of runway. Cashing in my ticket, nothing you can do to fix it. I'm tired of being on standby. Watch me wave goodbye, 'cause things don't just fall out of the sky. Engineering, domineering, the reasons why. Things always fail with no instruction to create that level of destruction. The opposite of seduction.
I had so much fun singing that. When we did the vocals for that, when Stefan and I recorded the vocals for that back at the end of May, that was the last song we did of the whole thing. And it was just like, at that point in time, I was tired. I'd been singing for about 4 hours straight at that point in time. And I was just like, I'm just throwing it all out there. I don't even care anymore. I just want to go and just like let it all loose. So that's what I did. So that was Planes. Number 3 on the EP is Rear View Mirror. And I guess in a lot of ways, every song on this album has been inspired by someone. And this one was inspired by an old manager I had not that long, maybe 3 years ago at my work. And it was like there was the team lead who was trying to be my mom, even though she's 30 years younger than I am. And then there was my manager, who was my age, who was just so tapped out she couldn't pay attention. And I don't know who of the two I was actually writing this song for, but I was just so done. Ironically enough, I'm done again with you. It's like it seems to go in 3-year cycles somehow, where it's just like I can't deal with this. I can't with these people anymore. So this is a song. I've always had this idea that romance and work have a lot of more parallels than most people are willing to admit. So this is a song about This is a song about breaking up with your job, and this is called Rear View Mirror. So, and I should mention, I think I have to mention this for copyright reasons. Obviously, the bridge is not something I wrote. It's an old Peggy Lee song that was written by two people in New York in the 60s whose names escape me now because I'm running low on caffeine. Anyway, this is Planes. Oh no, this is Rear View Mirror.
Treated myself to some brand new shoes. I'm gonna burn this whole place down and run to every opportunity that I find in this town. I wrote my resignation up real nice, but that's no guarantee. What it was you actually needed, I just knew it wasn't me. right, so I'm getting myself what I deserve. Saving myself before I lose my nerve. 'Cause to keep someone, you have to hear, but I'm keeping you.
All right, you want time for answers.
I got me 10 blind toes to wiggle in the sand. Lots of idle fingers snap to my command. A lovely pair of heels, they kick to beat the band. Contemplating nature can be fascinating. Add to these a nose that I can thumb and a mouth by gum. Have I to tell the whole darn world? If you don't happen to like it, deal me out. Thank you kindly, pass me by. Pass me by, pass me by. If you don't happen to like it, pass me by. Cet message aussi disponible en français. I wanted to get on your good side, but I only saw your back. So I'm putting on these brand new shoes and getting me what I like. I'm treating myself to what I deserve. I'm saving myself before I lose my nerve. 'Cause to keep someone, you have to hear, but I'm keeping you in my rearview mirror. I can't make this clearer.
I love that one. That one was so much fun to do. Because when you think about it, we have a lot of breakup songs that deal with love. We have a lot of breakup songs that deal with just abandoning, relationships. The one thing you don't hear of is you don't hear of a lot of songs that talk about breaking up with your job, which in a lot of senses, you are giving up something that's a key part of your life. So you can hear the influences of a lot of the cowpunk bands from the 1990s in that one. You can hear a lot of like Junior Gone Wild and Lowest of the Low. And I wanted to have something like that that was kind of upbeat and perky, but so that was that kind of song that you could go, you know what? I'm gonna grab my shoes, I'm grabbing my stuff, and I'm piecing the hell out. So that's Rearview Mirror. Now the last one, talking about guitar-based influences, Terry and I think it was about this time last year. It wasn't long after I came back from holidays last year. We had a songwriting session, and we were talking about different songs that we both liked and disliked. Now they brought up the fact that when I was young, like to me, um, at 17 by Janice Ian was like a horror movie. It was just this really bleak, not funny, not even ironic um, take on what it was like to be a teenager and what it meant to grow old. And I always found that really offensive. And then Terry piped up and he was like, that's actually one of my favorite songs. And I felt like such a heel because I'm like, oh my God, I've just pooped all over Terry's musical taste, which I didn't mean to do. So we were talking about that and thought that, it would be kind of nice to come up with an updated version of At 17, because when you listen to At 17, um, I think the popular culture has shifted enough now that we realize that the lives of teenage girls, even when you're a teenage girl, the lives of the teenage girls who are super popular, it's not as, rosy and as, wonderful. Imagine if like, you know, Heathers, the movies Heathers, or Promising Young Woman had come out around the time, Janice Ian was writing At 17. I think it would have been a completely different thing. So this is what I wanted to do, is I kind of wanted to reclaim that idea of saying, listen, there's no sense in trying to compare yourself to other people because they're going to have their own issues, especially after they hit 50. But also, it's not a bad thing to get older. It's actually a privilege a lot of people don't get to have. So this is At 53, and this was originally written in the key of D. This was I wrote it in D, and even though I'm a contralto, it's still kind of hard. It's hard for me to sing quite that low. So we did the typical thing, and we just like capoed it up and like brought it up to E, put the capo up on two, and this is slightly easier, and it's also a lot of fun to sing. It's a ton of fun to play live too, because it's just like that buzzing guitar. Nobody expects a woman who's on the verge of turning 56 because that's a whole other thing I haven't touched on yet. The reason why this is called 55 is I was actually lining up last year to release this on my 55th birthday on November 4th of last year. And things just started falling apart right from the very get-go. The first two producers bought one couldn't do it because he had too much going on in his life. The other one said he was going to commit and then just disappeared. So it was really obvious that it wasn't going to happen. And I went through like another three producers before I finally came upon, or was actually somebody actually recommended Stefan Jurevich of Kick Me Records for this. And I'm really glad that they did, because it really, Stefan got it. Stefan understood right from the very beginning what I was going for. And he also understood how much frustration I'd had, that it was already like at that point 9 months between, when I thought I had the whole thing sorted out and, having to pick up the pieces and start all over again. So this is at 53. And, if you want to jump around or play a little bit of air guitar, it's an E. I'm not going to make any judgments. So go for it.
See what I mean? It may not be all it seems. It's not too late to live your dreams when you hit 53. High school freaks who had it all are flipping burgers at the mall. High school jocks get chunky too. And here's another thing that's true. Age is fun when you're old, and you don't worry about getting old. Nothing left to lose makes you feel free when you hit 53. When you're here, you'll see what I mean. Youth may not be all it seems, 'cause it's not too late to live your dreams when you hit 53. You're gonna see when you can be all that you can be with no explanations owed to anybody when you hit 53.
The looks on people's faces.
Up to your tricks.
Go away. The looks on people's faces when I pull out a guitar and start playing that one live, I just love it. It's so much fun. Anyway, Terry and I are here in the chat, and he said, I loved At 17 because I identified so strongly with the character that Janice was talking about. I always felt like I was on the outsider looking in. Terry also is Terry works with a ton of people here in the Ottawa area. He also has one, and I just said that we have to revisit this at some point in time. I loved writing this one with you. I have another one called Middle-Aged Alienation. It even has a rap section. I don't know how I can say no to that, so I'm not going to say no. Anyway, that's the listening party. Just a quick reminder, next Sunday, so that's October 13th, which is the... God, sorry, I really should have had more caffeine before I did this. We're talking the 13th, which is the Sunday of Thanksgiving weekend or Columbus Day weekend if you're in the States. I'm playing my first ever headlining gig at a bar called Live on Elgin, which is Elgin just below City Hall in Ottawa. it's going to be a great time. We got Emma O and the Hysterics playing as the opening act. It's going to be a lot of fun. It'll be like, their Thanksgiving themed drinks, and we'll do like draws and stuff like that. So it would be really great if you came along. So that's it. 16 months later, this freaking thing is finally out, and I'm thankful that it is. I'm exhausted. Yes, and Terry will be there, so you will have to come and meet Terry because he's amazing. Um, Thank you all so much for your time today. It has been a pleasure talking with you. It's been a pleasure talking at you. Please listen to it as much as possible. I'd love to hear your ideas. I'd love to hear your feedback. And if you have any other questions or anything, don't hesitate to drop a question or a comment in the chat once the video is uploaded. And I look forward to talking to you soon. Ciao for now.